All right, Earthlings. Tonight, for our first guest, we have Kyle Kean. He claims to be a musical engineer at Detroit Sound and Video. We're going to get to the bottom of that right about now. Why don't we bring out our wonderful guest tonight, Kyle Kean? Wow, yeah. There's the old.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Why don't you pop a squat? Let's chat a little bit.
All right.
So, Detroit Sound and Video. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you do there, about what you've done?
I'm an audio engineer at Detroit Sound and Video. I've been doing that for about 5 years now. I've worked with people like Alice Cooper, 2 U.S. House representatives, Insane Clown Posse, Twisted Sister, a bunch of rock local rap acts, all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty fun. I like doing it.
Alice Cooper, I saw one of his shows once. You think he really gets beheaded?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I was gonna say I don't think I've ever been to. I've never been to an Alice Cooper show. But yeah, he was really solid when we saw him at the shop. Great meet and greet. There was like 1,000 people there, so it was really fun. I don't know if he actually gets beheaded though. That's a good question.
I've seen him flagellated. I've seen him hung. He seems like I think he's a born again Christian too. I'm just.
Oh saying, yeah, I can definitely tell. Yeah, there were a couple protesters at because I guess he said some shit that angered some people, but who doesn't do that kind of stuff nowadays?
If you're not saying shit that angers people, what are you doing in life?
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. I couldn't agree more.
That's why don't we say some angry shit right now about some groups that we hate, maybe incite some violence around the nation.
Oh, yeah. I agree, man. I'm a metalhead, so that's right up my alley, man.
It's right up your alley.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of absolute metal, let's talk about ICP.
ICP. All right. So, yeah, cool.
I don't know if they're metal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they have songs that are definitely what I would consider hardcore. Metal, I don't know. But yeah, I've listened to quite a few of their tracks. I worked with them. We did a couple green screen shoots for their Twitch channel, and then I also recorded their music video for Wretched, which was really fun. It's got, I think, 1.1 million views right now, so it was one of my biggest projects I've worked on. It was really fun. Loved helping, loved helping the guys. Shaggy and Violent J are great. I've worked with Violent J a little more. Sad to see his heart is not doing as well as it should. He's definitely struggling a little bit, but I'm really happy for them. They've had a really successful career, and I'm glad I got to be a part of it a little bit. So
that's a nice sentiment. I don't know if you know, isn't the gathering of the Juggalos kind of going on right now?
I don't know when that is. I've seen a lot of people talk about that, and I have friends who go to that, but I've never been myself. Because I'm an audio engineer, I like working behind the scenes. So it's like, I do like going out to events and stuff, but that just seems a little bit too out there for me, if you know what I mean.
Have you painted your face like a Juggalo ever?
They tried to get me to do it when I was on the Wretched music video shoot. In fact, there was a bunch of people who were commenting on my picture with them who were like, why isn't your face painted? But I never did it because, they had the face paint available. I just wanted to make sure they had their face paint taken care of first, So I don't know. I feel like it'd be fun though. I would love to dress up in corpse paint at some point. I feel like that, that whole look is just metal icon. So
it is certainly iconic.
It is. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, the gathering the Juggalo. I think I saw a picture of this lady stand outside of it and it said, like $1, touch my ass, $2, jiggle my tits. I don't know. I forgot what she get for $3. All I'm saying is, I usually walk around with at least $5, $10 in my pocket.
Oh yeah, just in case, man. You gotta be prepared for whatever comes your way.
I don't know what that might give me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Forgetting the Juggalos, that might give me,
Give you some sloppy toppy for $10. you never know.
I might get change, out of that $10.
Oh sure. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And hey, ICP, they're a Detroit legend, Michigan legend, Faygo legend.
Couldn't agree more, man. I love them. They rep the city really well. Yeah, they're Detroit icons at this point. I couldn't agree more.
You gotta get that Mountain Dew out of here. Get you some moon mist.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I love the Faygo, man.
Gotta get that Faygo.
Yeah.
And back, my daddy used to sell Cadillacs, a Cadillac Novi.
Yeah.
You'd be selling them caddies, and they'll have Violent J and what's the other one's name?
Shaggy.
Shaggy. They'd come in and fucking buy a new one every single year.
Really? That's
Oh yeah.
crazy, dude.
I,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think they'd
awesome.
wear the makeup in there, but
Yeah.
they'd come in and just cash out on one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah, they're really nice guys. Yeah, I wish I could. Obviously, I wish I could work with them more. They actually have a studio not too far from where my studio is, but they mainly come to me for the video stuff. So they do all the music on their own, and then when they want to do green screen shoots or music videos, that kind of stuff. Like I said, I did some stuff for their Twitch channel. Then they'll come over and we'll record a few segments, and then I'll ship it to them. It's pretty standard stuff. But really nice guys. Miss them. So I wish they'd come back. So if you're watching this, come back to Detroit Sound and Video.
You gotta be watching this. We're trying to break a mill with this episode.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Speaking of, they come for the green screen. At Detroit Sound and Video, that's kind of a place where you have this room there where it's like a complete immersive green screen.
Oh yeah, it's a 30 by, I think it's 30 by 30 foot. If you want to be specific, I think it's more closer to like 27 by 27 feet. But yeah, about 30 by 30 foot green screen room. It's got it on the walls. It comes down a ramp. So that way it's gradient. Looks great. I love the way it looks. Got to repaint it every once in a while because people make it dirty. But yeah, I love using the green screen. It's very versatile, very applicable. But yeah, I'd say half the shoots I use the green screen. It's really fun. And once you learn how to get your chroma key green locked down, then you can get stuff looking really nice, especially with some decent VFX.
Yeah.
People.
Because your place it's not curtains. I mean, it's like almost a plaster kind of deal.
Oh yeah, it goes like for the viewers, the wall's covered, then it comes down almost like on a ramp, and then the green screen actually is on the floor, and then it goes out. When I say 27 by 27 foot, it goes out another 20 some feet or whatever it is. It's really immersive almost. It's almost a little bit distracting when you're working on like audio stuff. I'll just see a big because I got a window and my desk is right behind the window, and it's really bright because it's chroma key, but it's really, like I said, it's immersive. It's fun. I love working on the green screen whenever I get the chance.
I feel that. Now,
yeah,
we all know it's a textbook fact that the moon landings were 100% faked. They didn't happen at all. So. My question to you is, you think that you could kind of replicate something like that in this green screen cube
That's
area?
a good question. I'm sure, if you just get like a decent like astronaut suit prop or something like that, something that's similar to that, and then I wouldn't say slow down the footage, but you edit the frame rate or the speed at which you're recording, or who knows, you get a dolly up on the ceiling, and that way it looks like you're floating and shit, man. You can get it looking really good. And I've seen a lot of music videos that come out nowadays look better than some Marvel movies do. It's fucking, excuse my language, it's ridiculous.
We don't have censors here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay, good. Fuck you then.
All y'all.
You heard it.
Oh yeah, you heard it here first.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, you can definitely do some really creative stuff behind a green screen. Like I said, especially with decent video effect editors and stuff, you get a whole crew on board. It can look almost indistinguishable from real life if you don't have a trained eye for it. So it's really cool. Like I said, I mean, you could probably get a decent moon landing, suit in there somewhere and make it look, I'd say 95% believable, and most people who are just casual entertainment enjoyers wouldn't think twice about it. They think it looks pretty legit, and like I said, a lot of music videos that come out nowadays look better than a lot of Marvel movies do. I don't know if it's a budgetary issue or whether or not it's just Disney sucks, but you get it.
So fans of the Don Show, if you're looking at the quality of the footage right now, just imagine that times a trillion. And that's kind of up the realm of what he's discussing here. I was really asking that question for some friends of mine.
Sure.
They're from North Korea, and they're trying to really get into some new propaganda.
Interesting.
Some really good stuff. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I got my brother's actually in South Korea right now.
Is he?
He's in the army. Yeah, so he's serving near, I couldn't tell you what city, but he works really close to the DMZ. I guess they shoot down drones. So pretty cool work. He tells me about it fairly often. Yeah, shout out to Conrad if you're watching this.
We got shout outs, you know. Do you think he's ever considered maybe going AWOL in the army to then go to North Korea so then he can defect?
I've never
to North
actually
Korea?
asked him about that. That's something I should probably bring up to him. So
you could just keep going back and forth, breaking both.
breaking both.
boundaries.
Exactly. Yeah. He sends me videos from he sent me a video from the I forget what it's called, the DMZ or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's really eerie. There's like nobody for miles, and then he was just on a bridge in his truck or whatever, and the truck he works on is what shoots down the drones. And it's really interesting stuff because it's got a sense of eeriness to it, but it's also really it's really cool. So I'm proud of him. He's doing good work over in South Korea. He says it's really enjoyable, and he's got his wife Sarah and his son Bowie, which is my nephew. Shout out Bowie. But yeah, I was gonna say he really likes it. Maybe I'll have to ask him about North Korea because that's actually a good question. I've never thought to ask him that before.
Very good. And those shout outs are very nice, but it does break our privacy law on set, so we will be censoring them all out. So the bleeps. That's his. Did you want to hit your vape by chance, real quick?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna hit this dart real quick.
Yeah,
this is actually part of the. Getting that
time. It's part of the experience of the Don Show. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you subscribe. This is where it's at.
Or don't. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. I'll just be very sad.
You're gonna make me fucking choke over here. Yeah, pretty fun. So
nice. We have Emma Z on this episode.
Yeah, you did.
You introduced us to her, us being the whole production crew right here. And lore wise, if we're going by the fanfic evolution of TDS and the lore and the chronologicalness of it, she hasn't actually appeared in the episode yet. So technically, she has not been here yet. She has not played here yet. That's something that has not happened.
Coming soon.
In the lore of the show.
Yeah, not yet, but it's coming.
But you do get to work with a lot of local artists.
Sure, yeah. I remember I had you at my studio at one point, but I've worked with a lot of smaller local rappers. They do cover tracks of really smash hit songs. They'll write their own version or remix it, or I've had a lot of local rock and metal bands come in. I love recording rock and metal. So if you're a rock or metal artist out there, come to Detroit Sound and Video. I'll hook you up.
Got to.
Or rap artist. I'll record any genre. I love any genre. But yeah, I love recording rock and metal. Anything with guitars, vocals, drums. That's I wouldn't say that's my specialty, but that's what I like doing the most.
It is the most fun to do that. I mean, building beats is fun. Live music, you can't beat it.
Oh yeah. There's nothing else that compares to it. Especially once you get you get your whole mic kit drummed up, I'm stumbling. You get your drum kit mic'd up, and then you get a decent bass sound going. Whether it's direct or you're running through like an amp, like you're miking up a mic cab or whatever it is. It sounds really you can get some really good sounds out of it. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I like my job quite a bit. I'm in that. Where's my fucking vape?
You got the tobacco in the air. You got that secondhand smoke.
Yeah, yeah. Love it.
Love the second. You gotta have that.
You gotta have it.
Always. Little kids around, pets, just blow right in their face.
I'm right there with you, man. Fuck the kids.
Cheezo Pete's. That's legal.
It is.
That's not legal.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not what I was thinking.
That's not what I was thinking about either. And then I said, I'm gonna have to cut this. Yeah, to cut it.
Yeah, cut.
No, we're leaving it in.
Yeah, leave it in. Fuck it.
But no, we did not mean by that. No Pizzagate over here. I was feeling very angsty back in 2016 when that was all popping off.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you back then at all, but I didn't know that you do covers and stuff like that too.
Sure.
I wrote a little, Ohio, that song by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
I think I've heard it. Yeah.
It was after the Kent State shootings in the 60s.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was like, damn, this needs to be remade now. So I made a really shitty version, and then I took it off SoundCloud, and it's never seen the light.
SoundCloud's where it's at, man. That's where you find all the raw, uncensored music that doesn't make it onto Spotify.
Can't put on Spotify. You can't, I don't even think you can put tits on an album cover, but SoundCloud, you can put a full-blown porn scene on there.
Yeah.
That's my album cover.
Yeah, go check out some SoundCloud underground music.
Underground. Speaking of, well, not really speaking of, but you mentioned Detroit artists. I don't know. Do you follow the scene kind of well? Do you know bands and stuff?
Yeah, I know quite a bit of them. I have friends who are in bands, and I know a lot of bands. I wouldn't say I know every band, but I know a good chunk of them. Yeah.
Is there a band that you either have or have not recorded? I guess if you have, that kind of takes away from this question. But my question to you is, if you have a local artist that you haven't recorded and a major artist that you'd like to kind of do some production, you got kind of two, one from local, one from big time.
Okay, so big time, I already got it, and it's Eminem. Eminem, if you're watching this, I want to fucking your latest album slapped. I loved it. I'd love to work with Eminem at some point, just because I've already done Insane Clown Posse. He's the next step up from that, logically. So,
Macklemore.
Yeah, Macklemore's pretty solid too.
I mean, you heard it, Macklemore.
Yeah,
He said in the, we're just tourists here. Me and Eminem.
Yeah,
we're the two greatest rappers ever, but we're just tourists.
Oh yeah,
in this realm. I don't know, Macklemore. I don't know if you can get away with that one.
Oh yeah. Mac, he's pushing it a little bit, but he's still, he knows what's up. Yeah, I'd love to work with Eminem at some point. In terms of local bands, I'd say, oh God, there's a bunch of them. I got my buddy's band, Shallow Truth. Jacob, my friend Jacob's the vocalist. I'd love to record you, my guy. I've been to a couple of his shows. Boys of Fall is another great one. If you're into the pop punk scene and Detroit, go check out Boys of Fall. There's a bunch of bands, man. I could keep going. My buddy Austin's in a death metal band called Casket Robbery. Those guys are great. I think they're technically out of Wisconsin, but he's from Detroit. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other bands now, man. You got me fucking going.
We'll clip this scene and put it online and just tag them all in it.
Oh, yeah.
And then they all know. Get your ass over to Detroit Sound and Video, or else I'm going to come after you.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want Don coming after you, yeah.
So just go record it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the alternative. You got me after you, or you get to go cut an album.
Yeah, exactly. Come cut an album at Detroit Sound and Video. I'll give you a good deal. Good deal.
No, I mean, and back to that whole Eminem thing. Can you imagine putting together fucking D12, having D12, working with, having your best buddy being Proof, R.I.P. Max Julian, two great people. I used to roll with Max Julian. He was Proof's nephew.
Really?
And he passed away unfortunately a few years back. But
sad to hear.
I just had to throw that in there real quick. But
oh yeah, D12's OG. Like that's the OG Eminem phase, man. Like my band is still one of my favorite songs. Like that. Like D12. If you're watching this, D12, I love your albums. You're great. One of the OG groups from this area.
Hell, Kuniva, come on down.
Oh yeah.
How about you?
Oh yeah. Come Detroit Sound and Video, man. It's in the name. Come by. So.
And where's that located?
It's actually okay. Well, it's actually in Livonia. It's moving. Okay, but
hey, if we're in the general 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 mile radius, we're Detroiters.
Yeah, Detroiters.
Detroit, baby.
Metro Detroit, but Detroiters.
Detroit. You're a Detroiter?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm a Detroiter too.
Detroiter, man. Yeah. But yeah, it's in actually the heart of Livonia. It's on 5 Mile and Farmington. So if you're in the area, we're connected to Rock City Music Company, which is right next door to Detroit Sound and Video. Go check these guys out. They have killer guitars, killer gear. Go check them out. Nick, shout out Nick. He's the owner. He's one of the guys who helped me get to where I am today.
Now here's a question about Nick. Do you think Nick would know this if maybe I took a bass off the wall and was like, I'm going to go try this out over Detroit Sound and Video, walk through that side door, and then just kept walking right through the other door and into my car? You think he'd know this?
Maybe. I think that's good. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. So it depends on what day you're catching him at. But usually he's, buried in his work. He's a very hard worker. So maybe you'll catch him on one of those days where he's just buried in his computer. So
you heard it here first, Larcenists. Detroit Sound or Rock City. That's the play. I'm just kidding. That's a terrible plug. They're gonna get mad at that plug. They're gonna say we're never ever talking to you again. This is the show. Anything.
Fuck it, man. Yeah. It doesn't matter. But yeah, cool.
Where was I gonna go from there? Oh, I know exactly where I was gonna go. You say it's in Livonia, it's at like the intersection, intersections kind of work like this and then they work like this and,
Works. Fucking, that intersection's a mess, by the way.
It is a mess, but, so you're kind of right by the courthouse.
Yeah.
But also, right next to you is O'Malley's Pub, correct?
Yes, O'Malley's. Yeah, and actually we have, Rock City hosts a student jam there every once in a while. So for all the students out there who are looking to learn guitar, drums, bass, whatever, go check out Rock City. They have some great instructors, including, I don't know if he still does it, but I know my friend Austin used to be a drum tutor there. They have some great tutors over there. Go check them out. And they perform at O'Malley's for their student night a couple times a year.
The kids go into O'Malley's?
Yeah, they perform at O'Malley's for like a student jam. They
couple pictures?
Yeah, exactly.
Get some pictures?
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, they're definitely pretty solid from what I hear. So yeah, they're pretty cool.
I'm sorry. No, I'm just thinking, back when I was being like scouted for a label, doing a little something, they were like, you know what might help you go viral a little bit? Because they knew so much about going viral. I can't make a fart sound with my mouth. But they were like, you know what you should do? You should take kids in to your place of business, your studio. Back when I used to run a little, I can't even really, it was a fun place to be is really what it was.
Oh, yeah.
But that being said, they were like, you should get some kids in and tour them and, do something for the community. I said, fuck them kids.
You fuck them kids.
Not literally.
Yeah, not literally.
Got to double down on that now. Got to double down on that.
Yeah.
No, but I mean that's a pretty sweet setup, pretty sweet location.
Yeah.
You can go cut a track in between. You can go get sloshed, wasted, come back and forth.
Oh yeah.
By the end of the night, maybe get behind the wheel, drive right by the courthouse. I'm sure everything.
Oh yeah, man. I've had people bring guns, drugs, you name it, into the studio. In fact, I've had people offer to pay me in guns and drugs.
Really?
It's crazy, man. Some of the people. I mean, we're like, it's usually like the local guys, or I've worked with like a few labels in like California that are like.
They got weed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know exactly what's up.
Pounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I've gotten offers to get paid in that, and I'm like, man, it'd be nice, but I need money, man. The fucking economy's taking a dip.
True that. I might not be able to say no to that gun offer, but.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's pushing it. Yeah, I was like, fuck, man. Especially, yeah, if you give me like a Glock or something like that, or you never know, man. I was gonna say, guns are solid, man.
Nice unregistered Russian AK. Yeah, you gotta be pro gun.
Oh yeah,
this day and age.
Oh yeah,
I see someone walking down the street. I'm already chambering my bullet. I'm like, what is this guy doing walking down the street? I don't care if he's a jogger.
Oh yeah, no way, fuck that.
Nah, fuck them people.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally fuck them people, though.
Fuck the people.
Yeah, well, not half of them, not all of them.
Yeah, half of them. Yeah.
Well, shit. I got my dart going out over here.
Sure.
Ugh, just toss that right over there. Nice landing.
Look at that.
Stuck the landing. Where's my brew at? Right here. Cool. Let me take a pee-pee real quick. Oh.
You take pee-pee?
No, not a pee-pee, a peep.
Oh, peep. He's a pee-pee. I'm like, all right, we'll cut.
Let me tell you something. No, we wouldn't have to cut. If I had to piss, I'd just do it right. Yeah, I wouldn't break.
Just fucking piss on the floor.
Yeah, you wouldn't even notice until you heard the dripping below.
Oh, yeah.
We'll mic that up, too. We'll get that mic. Got the audio expert engineer over here.
Oh, yeah, we'll mic the floor up. That way you can hear exactly how it sounds once it hits the fucking carpet, dude.
It's a nice stream, too. Let me tell you something.
It's a hard
stream. Pant leg. Oh, yeah, hard, real hard. So... working with any of these bands, you get any royalties, residuals, anything like that, or?
So most of the time, no. I end up usually just getting like a flat rate. So I'll usually quote the people when they come in. I'm like, hey, my standard rate is usually, we'll say $75 an hour. Just for the fuck of it. And then depending on whether you're like, if you're doing like, I've done a bunch of audiobooks. So if you're doing audiobooks, that's really easy. You're setting up a mic. Let the narrator go in the booth and let him read the book. You'll have to cut every once in a while if he messes up a word, but that's a really easy session. I'd charge probably less than $75 an hour because that's really cheap. But if you're doing something, if I'm like micing up a drum kit and I'm going through like, okay, we're doing drums this day, then bass, then guitars, then vocals, and then we're doing backup instruments the next day, like, yeah, fuck, I'm going to charge a little bit more for that. I cannot remember what the original question was.
No, it was just, well, really, I was just asking because, I got, I'm in a little bit of trouble with some people. I'm not going to say. And I was just, I was thinking, you got these residuals, got these, this income. Maybe you could spot me a couple bucks. And I got,
Oh, yeah, man. I'm loaded. But most of the time I end up getting a flat rate. Very once in a while, like when I work for it's usually smaller labels. Like the big labels, same thing. I won't get a cut. I'll get just a flat rate up front. Once I quote them, I'll be like, it's this many hours, and then however many hours the artist is in my studio, that's what I charge, okay? But every once in a while when I'm working with a smaller label, they will give me like a 10-15% cut of the royalties. But it depends on what label it's releasing under. Like I've worked a lot with like Sumerian Records, which is based out in LA. They're like a rock and metal label. I used to be super into those guys. Nowadays I'm promoting a lot more with Unique Leader Records. They're a smaller metal label. Those guys it's a lot of death metal, but those guys are great. But I used to work for a company called Sky Records, and that was out in Chicago. And I think that was the only record company I knew that would give me like a cut for the most part. They'd give me like a 15% royalty.
Is that like electronic music?
They do a lot of rock, but I think you're right. I think they also do a lot of electronic music, from what I understand. But I think the owner's name's Dustin.
Okay, I thought I knew the guy.
Yeah,
but I might not.
Yeah, maybe. I was gonna say you never know. So I haven't talked to him in a couple of years. So I try to. The smaller labels are great. Don't get me wrong, but if you're an artist out there, you're trying to go to the next level. Hold on to your stuff until you're ready to promote to the bigger labels. If you're only promoting to smaller labels, you're not. I wouldn't say you're not growing as fast as you can, but you're not pushing yourself out to as many people as possible. Always aim for the stars, especially in music. If you got a goal or a vision, shoot for those higher labels, man. Don't let anybody tell you you're only like underground music or whatever. Keep pushing until you get stopped. That's what it's all about.
Should they always keep releasing?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, you don't have to be like, release, a single every couple of months, but, just stay in the game. Make sure you release something every couple of years. Keep your name out there. Do these kinds of events where you're, going on shows, you're playing local gigs. Get out there as much as you can, so that way you can extend your audience base. That's really what matters nowadays, is your reach. And I'm sure, you're on social media, you get it. The reach is, I'd say, the number one biggest thing you need to look out for, is just make sure you're promoting yourself in some way, shape, or form, especially if you're a musician. Put your name in other people's mouths. Fuck them,
Exactly. Fuck them people.
Yeah, fuck them people, man.
And coming from me about reach, that's coming from a guy who has absolutely zero reach. So the same three people. Hey, it's a blessing.
Oh yeah, you do what you can, man.
A lot of, you said go on these shows. A lot of people that have their own kind of talk show, music show like this.
You're the only one that I know.
Cut it. Yep,
Got it. Yeah, Don.
I'm
the Don show.
He had the right answer.
Yep.
Didn't have to coach him through it.
I was gonna say this is all impromptu. We didn't plan any of this, but Don's the only guy I know who has a talk show. So if you're in the Metro Detroit area and you want to get out here the way we're out here, come talk to Don. Message him on Instagram at the Don Mastro, and get in contact with him. Be a fan of the show. Like I said, subscribe, hit the bell, do your thing. But just keep putting yourself out there as much as you can. That's really all that matters. Whether you're in music, whether you're an actor, whether you're a behind the scenes guy like I am, just keep going out there and doing your thing, man. That's all that matters. So as long as you're happy, I'm happy. So
I appreciate the kind words towards myself and the show coming from Kyle here. That being said, you do contact me, there is a 95% dismissal rate. And I'll just be like, get the fuck out of here. You're not doing it. I'm more difficult than Harvard these days, all right? You cannot get on this show at all. Try it anyway, though. Send me a DM, message me.
Try anyway, man.
So
never hurts.
I got ashes over here, ashes on my crotch. It's just like every other day. All right, we're getting into kind of the home stretch of this deal here, but I'm curious with you. What kind of DAW do you use? That DAW, I don't know what DAW stands for. But what kind of DAW do you use? DAW is what you record with, though. Any kind of these sessions and all that.
Your DAW stands for your digital audio workstation, and the one I use is Logic Pro. You can get that if you have a Mac system or Mac OS. You use Mac OS. I don't know if it's compatible with iPad, but I have a Mac and I use Logic Pro. I've also been trained in Pro Tools and Reason. Both of those are also great DAWs. Pro Tools is basically the industry standard. So if you're looking to get into making music, I would highly suggest looking into Logic Pro, Pro Tools, Reason a little bit. I see a lot of people are using FL Studio. There's a lot of free DAWs you can use. I'd say FL is probably one of the better ones. But yeah, if you're looking to get into this as a career, definitely look into Logic Pro and Pro Tools. Those are the industry standards at this point.
And what was the one that you also mentioned?
Reason.
And there was a fourth
Reason
one.
and FL.
FL. Which one would you say is best to make beats in?
You know, I see a lot of people making really solid beats on FL when I'm just, doom scrolling on Instagram or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're looking into getting beats, you're a local rapper, you're just looking into getting into writing beats, look into FL Studios. That's a great DAW, great starter DAW. Trying to think. I also used, what was it called? I wouldn't be able to tell you. I've used so many DAWs at this point, I've lost track. But yeah, just start looking into digital audio workstations if you're curious about making music. It's and that's how I started getting into it. As I was a band kid in high school, and once I graduated, I was like, well, I definitely want to do something in music, but I am not the performer type. I'm more of I like editing a lot. I like being at my computer and, editing it to sound as good as I can, whether that's through, auto-tune or, just cutting sections up and pasting them together, or, using plugins to make everything sound super crazy. Like it's nuts, man. Like it's so much fun. Like but yeah, start looking into other DAWs. If you're a beginner, yeah, definitely look into FL. That's one of the better ones out there. Yeah, and you use Logic Pro too, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you have FL? Like, do you have an account with them or something?
I used to use FL. Primarily, I use Logic Pro now, but I used to have an FL account.
What about Pro Tools? You got like a Pro Tools account?
I used to have a Pro Tools subscription. I think I actually canceled it like 2 months ago.
Okay.
But that's what I was trained in college. So I know how to use okay, if you really want to get into the DAW discussion, TLDR, a Mac with Logic Pro in general is going to be cheaper than a PC with a Pro Tools subscription for the most part, as long as you're running decent hardware, you got good RAM. Yeah, in general, Logic Pro with a Mac, even though Macs cost a lot, Logic Pro is only a $200 down payment, whereas Pro Tools is a subscription. And my boss, who was a Detroit Music Award winner multiple times, he used to have a Pro Tools subscription, but even he switched to Logic at this point because most people in the industry recognize that Logic Pro is just about as good as Pro Tools, but it's vastly cheaper. So you're just better off using that kind of stuff.
There you go. Well, I do know that FL is good for beats. You said that you used to use it, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my MacBook over here, and actually, and this is my MacBook. So FL, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You're gonna build a beat, but unfortunately, I don't have FL on here. This computer is on, by the way, so I'm gonna hand this to you.
Sure.
And you're gonna go ahead and go onto the FL website. So just no, it's on. It's on. It's already, the screen's on. Everything's going. You just start typing. Go into flstudio.com. All right, and then so like I said, we're really gonna judge if you're a good beat maker or anything like that by having you make some beats in FL live. Now, as I said, I don't have a subscription. You don't, so I see that you're on the website right now.
Yeah, you know it.
Now, I know you got to download that, so why don't you hit that download button? I know that there's also the account subscription. Why don't you pop out your credit card out of your pocket?
Well, yeah, we'll pay for a subscription.
Yeah, go ahead. Hook me up with a nice little FL subscription so we can show everybody your beat making abilities.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of let me know once you get all your card info in there and press enter, and just let me know when it's all said and done.
All right, give me 2 seconds.
You got it. So right now he's just entering his credit card information.
Oh yeah, you know it. Yeah, racks on racks, man.
Racks on racks. And did it seem to go through?
It went through. It looks like it went through.
All right, so
there we go. Okay.
Okay, so how many? What does that pay by? Do I get like is the all paid for? Or is that a subscription too?
It's a subscription, so you'll be able to use it after I'm done.
Okay.
So you should be good.
Okay, so it's gonna like just keep,
Yeah, I'll keep charging on my account. Fuck it.
All right, cool. Yeah. So it looks like FL Studio's downloaded, and you put your credit card information in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think that we've actually run out of time today. So we're going to go ahead and cut this interview now. We really appreciate Kyle. I believe that he can make really great beats. I do believe it. I believe it. It's a shame that we didn't have enough time really for him to make the beat, but we really appreciate him hooking me up with FL Studio with his income, with his own credit card. So, you can go ahead and shut that.
Sounds good, man. I was gonna say enjoy FL, man. It's a fun dog.
FL, got it on the Mac. Hey, any kind of parting words that you want to leave, the kids and the people with?
Man, follow your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you no. And if they do, fuck them. So just keep doing your thing. As long as you're happy, that's really all that matters at the end of the day. So be happy, rock on, keep it real. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So check out Detroit Sound and Video. Check out The Don Show. Make sure you subscribe. And thanks for having me on, man. This was a blast.
It was an absolute pleasure having you. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Kean, Detroit Sound and Video. We thank him for coming on. We thank him for FL Studio. He's a visionary. Contact him for your musical needs, and he'll treat you right and make some really cool stuff as well. Kyle, thank you very much. Hey.
Great being here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. We'll be right back with the fabulous Emma Z, lore-wise. She is coming in the door right now to play. So thank you very much, Kyle. We welcome Emma Z. Commercial break.